Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Levinson and Associates weekly webinar. So real quick, I know everyone just came back from a 3-day long holiday weekend. Hopefully it was a great one, especially considering everything going on around us right now. We were just talking before we went live here, and the big question is, how are you doing? And I always answer and say, great, considering everything that's going on, we're doing pretty good. So I hope the same for you all. The positive light here is, number one, Life Insurance Awareness Month is upon us in September, as we know. And, good, bad, and different, the life insurance topic, right, is front and center. It's around the kitchen table at breakfast, lunch, and dinner while most families are at home. And I feel like as a insurance agent, right, you should be taking advantage of times like this and helping these families, okay? And notice the way I said that. I didn't say taking advantage of families, but taking advantage of this time, right? This is a once in a lifetime. Hopefully it never happens again, and hopefully we have a resolution soon. But as insurance agents, we can all reach out and help these families at a crucial time, because the bottom line is the kids are looking at mommy and daddy saying, God forbid if they get COVID and they pass on, are we going to be okay? And it's happening all the time. We have some agencies that literally have doubled or tripled their numbers. It's unbelievable. Yes, we also have some agents that are going in the other direction, unfortunately, but I think if you have your foot on the gas and you're leveraging technology and social media and creating YouTube videos and getting your name out there little by little, then you can maximize this opportunity. I mean, it's very simple. We have been doing the same exact thing for the last 20 years. Our agency started in 1972. I came on a little over 20 years ago, and we have been kind of doing the same thing with getting our name out there, e-blasting, creating videos. We have this Positive Tuesday quote that we put out every Tuesday for the last 5 years. We haven't missed a Tuesday. And what does Positive Tuesday mean? Absolutely nothing. But it's a way to get our name out there in front of our agents and agencies, right? And even when there was a time we had 2-3 people that liked our posts, it's okay. And the 2 or 3 went to 7, and then 20, and then 50, and then 100. And now we're shared over 4 different platforms. And literally our Positive Tuesday quote, which means absolutely nothing. It's just a creative positive quote I come up with. Now it's in front of thousands and thousands of agents' eyeballs, okay? Which, what does that do? It gets our name and brand out there to the masses. You should be looking at this business in the same light, but instead of agents and agencies, you're going after clients and prospects, right? Consumers. So anyway, it's like they always say, you don't have to listen to what we say, but watch exactly what we do. And you should be doing the same exact thing. Just like the carriers look to see what the IMOs are doing. The IMOs look to the agents look to the consumer. So we always look to the top for creative ideas, videos, marketing pieces, and then we kind of do the same or similar for our agents, and then the agents should be doing the same or similar for their consumers. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just add a few more spokes. Okay, let's jump in here. So what we're talking about today, and the reason why I wanted to have this training of the week today, number one, is during this time, right, it's crucial that we have a go-to carrier, go-to products that are competitive, that you can sell over the phone and with an e-application that give you a decision in 2 minutes or less, okay, if there's no red flags. And you need to be sure that you're selling competitive products, because the last thing you want is 2 weeks after the sale, right, for a consumer to come back to you and say, Bill, you told me this was one of the best prices out there, and I have another price that's 25% less for the same product. Okay, we know what's going to happen. The product's going to get replaced. Well, Sagicor is a company, number one, that has the best technology we've seen, okay, and one of the most competitive GUL products available today, all the way up to $1 million, no exam, and a decision in 2 minutes if no red flags, okay? They have living benefits. They have a product, listen to this, single premium IUL called WealthCare that has full return of premium, okay? That, in my opinion, is a win-win. The client has nothing to lose. If they change their mind, boom, no problem, done, they're out. That's a no-brainer. Okay, these are products you can sell, and this is a technology platform that, quite frankly, I've never seen in our industry, and this started before the pandemic. So this is something you all need to be taking advantage of. They have some new updates, incentives. We're going to talk about some sales strategies today that are new and unique, okay, that I promise you haven't seen before, and that ultimately will help change your game and end 2020 in a great way. That's the goal here for all of us. So anyway, sit back, relax, take plenty of notes. We have a question box on the right side. Andrew Paris is joining us. He's going to answer all of the questions that come in as we move throughout the slides. And if he doesn't answer you right away, we're going to answer every single person by the time we finish. Plus, everyone will get a thank you email by the end of today. Okay, you'll have it in your inbox. If you don't see it, that means we have your incorrect email address. Let us know, please, if you don't get the thank you email, because we're going to include all the brochures, contracting, incentives, the new lead program we're rolling out. Everything will be included in that thank you email. Okay, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. Okay, let's jump right in here to speaking of this pandemic. Like it or not, we are seeing lots of changes, okay, on the product front, on the carrier front, with underwriting. And what we decided to do was have one-stop shop COVID-19 folder that you can literally click on as much as you would like throughout the day, and we are updating it in real-time fashion. As soon as we get an update from the carrier, we're putting it in that COVID-19 updates folder that's highlighted in red, and it's itemized by carrier and product. So make sure I mean, the last thing you want to do is be on the phone with a client and say, oh my gosh, I just realized they don't have the non-med to 1 million anymore. It's now 500,000 and you need a blood and urine during this pandemic. Okay, good luck trying to get a blood and urine exam done. Okay, it's not easy. So anyway, make sure you know where that is and keep your eyes peeled on the COVID-19 updates folder. Okay, moving forward, another great resource for you all, especially while you're working the phones, which right now we don't have much of a choice to work the phones in these go-to webinars, right, or Zoom. So you need to have our non-med chart in front of you at all times. This is going to list every carrier with their limits, and then what health classes are available for the non-med guidelines, and if they have an e-application or not, or even a drop ticket. So everything right in front of you. We're going to include this in today's thank you email. And by the way, this is updated literally daily. So again, you must make sure you're looking at the updated version, which is all on our website. And again, we'll email it out today to everybody that's on the call. Okay, also, we're going to have our question of the day. So as soon as we are finished, right before 3 p.m. Eastern, we are going to ask a question that has to do with the slides and everything we're going over today. So if you are first and correct to answer, you win your choice of the Amazon $50 gift card or a Fire tablet. You pick, you win. We'll announce the name at the end, again, right before 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay, without further ado, let's jump into today's feature presentation. We have our regional sales manager from Sagicor joining us, Mr. Scott Barnes. Scott, you there, bud?
I am here. Thank you. One second. All right. I assume you can see my screen now.
Yep, we could. Perfect.
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Andrew, for allowing me to speak to everybody today. I definitely want to say, folks, that Levinson Associates is really one of the most impressive organizations I work with. I work with a lot of different organizations in the Southeast and around the country, and I've really been super impressed with what Levinson Associates does and provides the different resources to you, and is really able to bring some good stuff to the table. And I really appreciate our partnership that we have with Levinson. And I'm really excited today to present these ideas to you. As Bill mentioned, we have a couple different things we're going to go through. It's actually 4 different ideas that I think you'll be able to walk away from this meeting and really be able to potentially implement at least one or two of them into your practice beginning today. So I really think it's a great opportunity for you to learn more about us, to learn more about our solutions, and really get a good grasp of really what's out there from our perspective. As a quick refresh, I know some of you are familiar with Sagicor, but I always like to just give an update as to who we are. Some of you may not be that familiar with Sagicor. We actually have been around for quite a long time. A lot of people ask, it's like, well, I've never really heard of you or haven't heard much about you. Our parent company, Sagicor Financial Corporation, is actually been around since 1840, so now at 180 years old. So we've been around for quite a long time. We entered the U.S. market back in 2005 with the purchase of a company called American Founders Life. And since that time, we've been growing the business and really seeing tremendous growth over the past 5-10 years. American Founders Life had actually been in the U.S. since 1954. So we have a history here. We're A- rated, and I really think that we have a lot of great solutions to offer you. So when you run across different situations, whether it be life insurance or annuities, we really can be a great go-to stop for you. So today's presentation is primarily focused on our Sage No Lapse UL and how it can be utilized. Let's take a moment to discuss the solution and what's been happening in the marketplace. We've seen many changes in the No Lapse or GUL marketplace in the last year. And since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, those changes have been really accelerating because of the low interest rate environment. Some companies have implemented lower maximum ages, some have left the marketplace, and most have repriced their products. Since we haven't made any changes to our pricing, Sagicor is really probably the most competitive no-lapse option on the market. The product qualifies for our ACCELEWRITING program up to age 65 with a max death benefit of $400K. As Bill was mentioning, we do offer our ACCELEWRITING up on our term up to $1 million and our IUL up to $1 million as well. I'll briefly go over our ACCELEWRITING program in a moment, but for ages 65 and for amounts above $400,000, we offer our full underwriting program. In addition, we also include our chronic illness and terminal illness provider for no additional charge and no additional underwriting. So Sagicor really was one of the first companies to develop a successful automated underwriting system, and it's allowed us to provide a process that can be completed without needing to meet with the client in person. That's e-application to e-delivery. So the entire process can be completed online, which is a huge plus given many clients are hesitant to meet in person during the pandemic. ACCELEWRITING makes your job as an agent much easier since the client will not need to complete a telephone interview with a Sagicor representative, and we won't require a paramed exam. As many of you have likely heard, one of the major paramed companies, EMSI, closed their doors not too long ago. Because of the pandemic, paramed exams were already taking a long time to be completed, and with a major company closing, they're even going to be taking even longer. So with ACCELEWRITING, there is that possibility of getting that underwriting decision in just a few minutes. Approximately 35% of our cases will receive a decision within 2 minutes, and about 75% will receive a decision within 5 business days. So the best way to position this with your clients is to say something like the following: Sagicor has this great program that will not require you to complete a medical exam to get a policy. There is a possibility we may get a decision within 24 hours, and if not, we'll likely have a decision within 5 to 7 days. So it's really just setting that appropriate expectation with the client. We might get that 2-minute decision, but just to put the hedge on there, just say 5 to 7 business days. But the fact that they're not going to have to do that paramed exam, they're not going to have to do that telephone interview with Sagicor, that's really going to make this a much simpler process for you and the client. So how do you start a conversation with your clients about something they don't often think about, life insurance? One effective approach would be to discuss something they're concerned about, and that's the taxation of various assets they own. So ask your client, can we take a moment to review your savings through the lens of taxation? This is something they may not have thought about before, so walk them through this process by drawing 3 columns on a legal pad or a whiteboard. Title the columns, tax me now, tax me later, or tax me never. Then ask the client to help you identify what savings they own that might fit under each column. They should be able to identify many of these, but be sure to help them along. The last thing that you write down is that life insurance is in that tax me never column. Provide a brief explanation as to why, because we all know life insurance, is going to be a tax-free death benefit as long as it's structured properly. And if they, of course, they are in that estate tax bracket type of world, which unfortunately many folks aren't, if it's set up within an ILET, then it will still even be tax-free at that point as well. Oops, sorry, one moment. Had to skip around there. My apologies. One sec. All right, I apologize here. My computer decided to go wonky on me. So we'll move on to this part. It's like you may have clients that have large stock positions, often ones from companies that they work for or previously worked for. If there are large gains, they may be reluctant to liquidate any of the stock, but there is a way that you could show them the benefit of de-risking a portion of their portfolio. So let's take a look at Susan. She's 64 years old. She recently retired from Coca-Cola. Through the years, she's accumulated roughly 5,500 shares of Coke stock. She is widowed and is able to live off Social Security, the retirement assets in her old 401k, and her deceased husband's IRA. She's a proud mother of 2 girls, and they have 5 children between them. Her intention is to leave that Coke stock to her daughters as an inheritance, as she won't need it to live on. Prior to COVID-19, the downturn that occurred in the market, Coca-Cola had hit a high right around $60.13 a share. Shortly after the downturn, it bottomed out at $36.27, but has since rebounded to about $51 a share. Susan loves her Coke stock, but she's concerned that she may have too much invested in the stock, making her uneasy. While speaking with her financial professional, Jessica, Susan lets Jessica know that she's uneasy about her Coke stock. The recent roller coaster ride has made her question if she should have that much in the stock, and she would like to move some of that stock to mutual funds. Jessica agrees that she does have quite a bit, and that diversifying her portfolio makes sense. So because of Susan's uneasiness with the market, Jessica recommends an out-of-the-box solution, life insurance. Susan's not sure why she would recommend life insurance, so Jessica goes on to explain why it could be a fit. Since Susan loves her Coke stock, Jessica recommends that she liquidate a bit less than 23% of her position, or 1,274 shares. After taxes are paid, that leaves her with around $60,000. Jessica recommends a Sage no-lapse UL that's paid for using the $60,000 as a single premium. So let's take a look at what that $60,000 is able to purchase. The $60,000 single premium purchases $200,221 of lifetime guaranteed death benefit. Jessica shows Susan what Coke's stock price would need to be in order to match the value that Sage no-lapse UL can provide. She does this by dividing the death benefit, $200,221, by the number of Coke shares liquidated, 1,274 shares liquidated. She's pleasantly surprised to see that the Coke stock would need to hit $157.16 a share to match the no-lapse UL. Seeing as how Coke stock's recent high was a bit over $60 a share, she's comfortable de-risking a portion of her stock into something that's guaranteed. Susan knows that she's potentially missing out on any dividends the stock may pay, but she's happy to bypass the dividends to guarantee such a high share price equivalent. Compared to the stock alone with the value of $280,500, if Susan passed away after putting the life insurance in place, she would be leaving $415,747 to her children. That's $135,247 more, or approximately 48% more than the Coke stock value alone. Sage no-lapse UL can be a great way to help clients de-risk a portion of their portfolio. If you have clients that are looking to reduce stock, bond, or mutual fund exposure, or just have cash on the sidelines, this can be a great way to fund a guaranteed death benefit policy that could be a great alternative for some of their money. So really I love this idea, and I especially love the idea of positioning it into something that they understand, the price of a stock. Again, with this situation, with her current stock sitting right around $51 a share, if she could turn that into $157 a share guaranteed, would she be interested? And there are very few clients that I know of that would not jump at that opportunity. So this is a great way to do it. And again, what you would do is just divide the death benefit by the amount of shares liquidated, and that will give you that share price equivalent. So take advantage of that when you're working with your clients to really show them something that they might not have thought about as far as an alternative to their traditional stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or just cash on the sidelines. So let's take a look at another way that Sage No Lapse UL can be used. Final expense products are often used when clients are looking to put something in place to pay for burial and other related costs. So while these are usually simple and effective options, you may be surprised to learn that your clients could be saving quite a bit in premium dollars, all with no telephone interview or exam. So these are some numbers we recently ran on a 65-year-old male looking for a $25,000 death benefit. Most of these options have a simplified process, but they may also include a telephone interview. These options may also have a limited death benefit during that first 2 years, that graded benefit, which is equal to the premiums paid plus some stated amount of interest. On the plus side, these are whole life, and they will have a cash value component. However, many clients would prefer to save as much money as possible, and that is where our Sage No Lapse UL comes in. So here you can see the big benefit of Sage No Lapse UL. I've shown both preferred and standard rates to give you an idea of the savings over traditional final expense policy. While Sage No Lapse UL does not have any cash value to speak of, the process for the client won't be that different from the traditional final expense process. For up to $99,999 of death benefit, Sagicor will never require a paramed exam. We will also not be they'll also not have to be subject to a telephone interview. So if your clients are looking for the most cost-efficient option, then the Sagicor No Lapse UL, Sage No Lapse UL will be a great choice. However, you may have clients that do like the idea of having cash value. And that's something that they might want because maybe they'll change their mind and they want to be able to have a way to look at something else. So let's take a look. We do have what we call our Sage Whole Life solution. Since it is whole life, it will build cash value, and you can see that the premiums at both preferred and standard are less than the final expense options. Sage Whole Life will never require a telephone interview or paramed exam. With Sage Whole Life, you can get up to $250,000 of death benefit, and that's up to age 85. Since this falls within our ACCELEWRITING program up to that age 85 in amount, there's also the chance that you could receive that underwriting decision within minutes. So if you have a client that does like the idea of having cash value, then the whole life will be a good alternative for them. And again, if they're in good health, they're really going to be paying less than they would be if they were to choose a traditional final expense policy. So definitely take a look when you're looking at final expense options at that No Lapse UL, and also at our whole life as an alternative to those, if you're willing to possibly save them more money than what they're currently paying or what they could be paying with a traditional final expense option. So let's pivot real quick and take a look at something that occurred with the signing of the Secure Act in 2019. You probably recall that a big change is that stretch IRAs are no longer available to many IRA beneficiaries. In many cases, unless you are the spouse of the IRA owner, you will need to liquidate the IRA within 10 years of the IRA owner's death. Since the stretch IRA is no longer available to the IRA owner's children, grandchildren, and to most non-spouse heirs, using life insurance can be a great way to increase benefits to the beneficiaries. So here we have Anne and her son Jen. You may have clients like Anne who may be unaware of how tax laws have changed regarding passing on IRA assets to their kids. So Anne, she's age 75, she's a widow, and inherited her late husband's IRA worth $500,000. Anne realizes that she's likely to pass this IRA on to Jen since she currently has plenty of cash in a money market account and her Social Security covers her monthly expenses. Anne would like to make sure that Jen receives as much inheritance as possible, but is not sure the best way to accomplish that since she is taking her RMDs. Anne asked her financial professional, Corey, to help her figure out the best way to accomplish that goal. Corey said that there are a few ways for Anne to proceed. The first is to keep doing what she's doing, and Jen will inherit her assets when she passes away. Corey shows Anne what that would look like if she lives to age 85. Corey reminds Anne that since Jen is a successful chemical engineer and is well paid, he is in the 35% tax bracket. Since Anne is taking the $20,000 after tax she receives each year and reinvesting it into CDs, she would have $254,357 in the CDs if she passes away at age 85. With a growth rate of 3% at age 85, her IRA balance would be $376,763. Jim would need to distribute those assets within 10 years of Anne's passing. If he chooses to take a lump sum distribution, he would net $244,896 from the IRA after the taxes are paid. With the net from the IRA and CDs, Jen would receive $499,253 as an inheritance. Anne's thrilled to see that that's a good amount to leave, but Corey wants to show her an option that will provide more. Corey proposes that Anne take the $20,000 after tax she receives and purchase a Sage No Lapse UL policy using the $20,000 as an annual premium payment. The $20,000 annual premium payment will purchase $435,589 of death benefit at standard rates, and that's guaranteed for life. Corey also points out that Anne would have access to some terminal illness and chronic illness benefits from the policy if she were to need them. Corey then shows Anne what Jim would receive if Anne passes away at age 85. He would, of course, receive the life insurance death benefit of $435,589. The IRA balance, using that 3% annual growth rate, would be $376,763. After taxes are paid, that would leave Jen with $244,896 from the IRA for a total of $680,485 between the life insurance and the IRA. So here we can see the difference between the two options. If Anne stays the course, Jen would receive $499,253. If she improves the course, Jen would receive $680,485. That's 36% more than staying the course. Corey also mentions that if Anne were to come back preferred, the death benefit would actually go up to $542,490. That would potentially increase the inheritance to $787,386. That's $288,000 more inheritance dollars, or 58% more than if she were to stay the course. You can see that by utilizing life insurance, Anne is able to leave more to her son compared to staying the course. The leverage that life insurance provides is a great way to increase Anne's legacy. So we've been talking about our Sage No Lapse UL for much of this presentation, but did you know that Sagicor also has a No Lapse IUL? It's not the traditional IUL or UL, but it could be a great option for those clients looking for a guaranteed death benefit, growth potential, living benefits, and liquidity. So if you recall from earlier in the presentation, a successful way to start a conversation with clients is to talk about their assets through that lens of taxation. WealthCare is a single premium solution, so you are looking for assets that can be liquidated to fund a policy. The most likely funding sources are CDs, money markets, and savings accounts. We know that there's over $20 trillion on the sideline, and roughly $7 trillion of that has been added since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. As you know, interest rates on CDs and other savings instruments have been hit hard, and they're not expected to go up in the near future. According to CNBC, $5 trillion of that $7 trillion has been a flight to money market funds because of market uncertainty. Similar to the concentrated stock idea from earlier in the presentation, a client could use WealthCare as a solution to de-risk a portion of their portfolio. And finally, it makes sense to ask clients if they have a cash value life insurance policy. Many of them possibly do, and those funds could be 1035 exchanged into a WealthCare policy to give them benefits maybe that their current policy does not. So here's a client scenario, and there's a good chance you likely work with clients like Jenny. Jenny and her husband owned a bike shop that's been very successful. They had a rough few years when they first started up 20 years ago, but have since grown the business substantially. While Jenny and her husband took a risk opening the bike shop, she's really actually quite risk averse when it comes to her own savings. She has a set IRA, but most of her money's in CDs and savings at the bank. Jenny has a life insurance policy, but she knows that she needs more since her husband would need help at the shop if something happened to her. She's also concerned about needing care in the future since she had to help pay for her mother's time in a nursing home. Jenny meets with her financial professional, Amy, to discuss possibly adding more life insurance and a long-term care policy. So Jenny meets with Amy and they discuss her concerns. Amy shows her different life insurance options and also a traditional long-term care policy. While Jenny likes the idea of traditional long-term care, she is concerned about the costs and the possibility of premiums that they may increase in the future. Her mom had an LTC policy that saw 2 different price increases, and Jenny had to help supplement the policy when her mom needed care. One of the options that Amy presents is Sagicor's WealthCare. She recommends that Jenny reallocate $100,000 from her savings into a WealthCare policy. This solution combines many of the things that Jenny's looking for, and Amy goes on to explain the benefits. So Amy explains that WealthCare provides a great deal of flexibility to Jenny. Of course, it provides the death benefit that Jenny was looking for, but it also provides Jenny with chronic illness benefits if she's unable to complete 2 of 6 activities of daily living or has severe cognitive impairment. Amy also explains that WealthCare offers a return of premium feature, meaning that Jenny can get her $100,000 back anytime she wants. With the return of premium feature, Amy explains that it's like taking money from your left pocket and just moving it over to your right pocket. While Jenny wasn't looking for that feature, she's thrilled to learn that if she does need to get her money back, she can. Amy goes on to explain that this policy has the ability to build cash value, which is why she sees bigger numbers at age 85 in the current column. This is because WealthCare is an index UL policy. Jenny mentions that she's worried that the policy might get in trouble if the policy doesn't perform. Amy assures her that the death benefit is still guaranteed, even if the policy does not perform as expected. Amy points out that the guaranteed column is the worst case scenario. At a minimum, she'll receive those benefits. However, if the index options experience gains, she'll see an improvement in the death benefit, surrender value, and chronic illness benefits. So as you can see on the screen here, you see that guaranteed and current column and the age 65 and age 85 benefits. It really does, having the ability to grow that benefit is a tremendous feature to this solution, because that death benefit, with it increasing, that also increases the amount that's available for living benefits. And of course, because the cash value is growing as well, the return of premium is also going up beyond that $100,000 that's guaranteed. So it's a really neat solution for those clients that are sort of looking for ways to do different things or to do multiple things at once. And as Bill mentioned earlier, with that return of premium feature, meaning they can get their money back at any time, this creates a tremendous amount of flexibility. I will point out, and something that I do want to mention, is because this has that return of premium, there is a 3-year chargeback schedule on this. Just to give you an idea, it's 100% in the first year, 75% in the second year, and 50% in the third year. So if the client were to surrender the policy within those first 3 years, there is a chargeback to the agent on that. But don't let that dissuade you from looking at this option. This is money that for these clients, they're not looking to do anything with. And with interest rates being so low, this is a great opportunity to talk to your clients about a solution that potentially can grow beyond what a CD or savings account can earn, but also provide them that ability to get living benefits and also leverage their dollars for death benefit as well. So it really makes a lot of sense to talk to your clients about this solution as an alternative for sitting on the sidelines where cash is not doing a darn thing right now. So unlike many similar products, WealthCare is available up to age 85. It also qualifies, again, for our accelerating program. There's no maximum premium amount, and accelerating is based on the net amount of risk. So if you have a $100,000 single premium, the death benefit is $200,000. The net amount at risk in that example is $100,000. So that's what we base our accelerating program on. Since the majority of these policies will likely be applied for by older clients, many agents ask if we require a lengthy telephone interview or senior supplement exam. The answer is no. We don't require an interview or senior supplement. And given the ages involved, we may require an APS, and on very rare occasions, we may require or request a paramed exam. The only time we request a paramed exam, though, is if the client appears to be a decline and the exam may improve the offer to a standard or preferred. So there's really not too much reason to be concerned about asking for a paramed exam unless they're already in bad shape as far as health is concerned. When you're running these illustrations or these quotes, we actually do quote it at preferred class. Preferred class actually is inclusive up to table 4. The standard class is a table 5 or 6. So you would be running this at a preferred underwriting class, and then you run it from there to see what type of benefit it can purchase based on the premium that you're putting in. So to recap, Sagicor has options available to consumers that offer really great guaranteed no-lapse benefits. Think about clients in your practice who would benefit from Sage No Lapse UL, Whole Life, and WealthCare. Then start conversations by asking them, can we take a moment to review your savings through the lens of taxation? This can open the door to learning more about their current assets and possible ways that you can help them. You can help them by de-risking their stock, bond, or mutual fund portfolios, or by helping them put a burial policy in place. Maybe they have an IRA that they plan to leave to their kids and are looking for better options. or maybe they want maximum flexibility in a solution that can provide legacy, liquidity, and living benefits. In any of these circumstances, Sagicor has a solution that will greatly benefit your clients and help you deepen your relationship with them as a valued partner. Well, again, I want to thank the Levinson team for allowing us to take the time to talk to you today and go over these ideas. I want to go ahead and turn it back over to Bill and Andrew, and if there are any questions, we can go from there.
Scott, that was awesome. One of the best Sagicor presentations. That was spot on. Thank you for sharing. And also a few things, if you're already appointed with Sagicor through another IMO, obviously we want you to move over to us. So what we do with your first app, we pay either cash with your first placed app or free leads for contracting as soon as your first app places. Plus, you also get the SAGE Scholarship Program free, approved with Sagicor's products. So that's another value add by working with Levinson. So another big plus. Andrew's going to show everyone right now how to quote these products, and we're going to show you how easy the e-app is and where to find all of this great info. Andrew?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bill. I'm going to dive right in here to the next step, and that's exactly that. We need to learn how to quote and get these on the books, right? So what you're going to do is log into the levinsonandassociates.com agent website, and this is integrated for you. This is our technology that we have, especially for you, for Sagicor in particular, but all of our carriers. So you'll see on the screen in front of you here, we ran a sample 45-year-old male for a 10-year term, $250,000, Sagicor's #1. And what we can do is just simply click that apply button right off of our quoting engine, and that will bring us directly into the e-application. It is extremely simple. We are integrated into the iGo application. Many of you are very familiar with this software. It will do the same 2-minute instant decision as Sagicor's platform will, so you can integrate through our website and go ahead and fill out all the data as it asks. Once all the check marks are green on the left-hand side window there, you are ready to lock and submit for an instant decision. So it has never been easier to do business with Levinson and with Sagicor Life. So I highly encourage you to get on our website, play around with this. If you have a case or a situation that you think is a good fit for this, call myself, our marketing team here. We are here to help you with that. And we also have training modules as well. So if this is not enough and you want to see how a full app and quote and the entire process is done, we do have that available on Levinson and Associates through the training center as well. I'm going to go ahead and get it back to Bill, and we're going to head into our scholarship platform.
Okay, good stuff, Andrew, as always. Okay, so we're just about done, by the way. We're moving quick, which is nice for a change. So, you know, we've been thinking about different sales ideas, strategies. In fact, I told Scott right before we started, you know, he has to bring value to our agents. They need to walk away with nuggets, right, to make more sales and get your name out there to ultimately make the phone ring. So Scott accomplished exactly that, but I also wanted to share another idea. So as you know, Sagicor's products do come with our 1 free year tuition scholarship program. Okay, and what a lot of people don't realize, first of all, the new updated platform is much easier. Okay, it's free for you all to be involved as long as you're appointed with Sagicor under us. And it's free for your client. There's no extra premium. There's no small print. If their child or grandchild wants to go to one of the 416 colleges now, then it's 1 free year tuition, 25% off each year, which is 1 free year, okay? That's it. Now, this is another great value add. So, you know, yes, you're out there, you're on social media, you're putting videos together, talking about why life insurance is so important, especially right now during the pandemic, which is great, but why not put your college planning hat on, right? And talk about, hey, did you ever think about college planning for your grandchildren or your children? And if you set an appointment with me for 5 minutes at least, even if you don't buy a product from me, you can give that consumer a $500 gift card or gift certificate. It's $500 off a 4-year tuition, even if the consumer doesn't buy the product from you, just for having the appointment. So why not market that and use that as the hook, right? And then the icing on the cake, if they do purchase a product from you, then it's 1 year free tuition. And those 500 points or dollars get included in the tuition rewards account for that insured. Okay, so when we also spoke about a great final expense alternative, why not use Sagicor's permanent product, right? Bring the face amount way down. You're going to show the consumer how much less premium the Sagicor permanent product is. Number one, you're going to throw in 1 free year tuition for this client's grandchildren, and it's going to be a win-win. So you're saving them 20 to 50% of premium, okay, for a better product, okay, both no lapse, right? And they're getting this $40,000 of value with the scholarship. You're going to get the sale every time. So anyway, make sure you're enrolled in Sage. And we even have a new client sign-in link. So if you have Insure Me Now Direct with Levinson, which it's also free, you can send your client to your site, and all they do is click on scholarship, self-enroll. In 5 minutes, they're in the program. Done. It's that simple. And each client gets their own, it looks like a Bank of America checking account, and they can check on their points and see what new colleges are in the program. Everything is at their fingertips. And if they refer another client to you, they get another 500 points. And if you sit down with your client for an annual policy review over the phone or in person, another 500 points. And remember, every point is $1 off tuition. So this is a win-win-win. Okay, I'm telling you, it's not too good to be true, because it's true. There's no small print, and there's no skin off your back or the client's back. And even if their child says, hey, Bill, I'm going to Florida State University, right, because I'm an alumni there and that's where my kids are going, and they're not in the program, fine. We can give this to another blood relative and transfer it, okay? And the client didn't pay anything for the program anyway. So at the end of the day, it's just another value add to keep your foot in the door. Andrew, let's move forward here. Okay, the new final expense lead program, right? Now, when we're talking final expense, it doesn't mean just small whole life products and these are, you know, 60, 70 bucks a month. No, these leads can open the door for you to talk about permanent GUL sales and living benefits, right? Like I just said. And bring up the scholarship program. Anyway, this is our latest program. We are launching on the 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern. The leads verified starting at just $8. Okay, those are triple verified, and we have a live transfer program. Now, just keep in mind, the broader reach for you. So let's say if you're licensed in Florida and Georgia and Texas, obviously the lead cost goes down, okay? But as soon as you narrow in the area, okay, which honestly right now you're selling over the phone anyway, so I don't think it really matters, but the price goes down for the broader reach, okay? As soon as you narrow down the prospects, then the pricing goes up, but the leads are starting at just $8. Let's show them the bullets, Andrew. This is amazing, in my opinion, because I've never seen lead pricing this cheap. It's a co-op discount, so we're kicking in some of these dollars for you. They're all real-time leads, 100% exclusive, double and triple verified. And here's what's another great value add. We have a 1-hour training that comes free. So basically, if you sit through this training, okay, the lead company stands behind these leads. That's amazing. We're going to dive in more on the 15th. Make sure you're on that training, please. I'm telling you, when you look at verified final expense or mortgage protection leads, they're averaging like $35 to $100 a lead. So this is amazing. And if you find a good company that works and you can make a few sales out of every order, you're ahead of the game, folks. I'm telling you, there's no perfect lead company, but if you find a good one, you stay with them. And I think we have exactly that. So far, our pilot agents are having lots of good luck, and that's why we're launching this on the 15th. Okay, let's move forward here. So real quick, what I also wanted to talk about now, like I said earlier, if you're with Sagicor with another upline, no problem. If you want to move over to us, we match or most of the time beat your commission. Plus, we give you $100 cash with your first app. And we do the same thing, right? Listen to this for a minute, with leads. So same exact concept. You can get 3 free leads with your first app. Plus, we offer this on the life side and the annuity side. And Sagicor also has some great annuities just to add to this bullet list, okay? So, and some great incentive programs from Sagicor, which we're going to also send out in today's thank you email. So anyway, take advantage. And again, in my opinion, it's a win-win-win. You make more comp, you get some cash or free leads with your app, and you get to work with Levinson, plus scholarship program. Again, no skin off your back. You're happy, consumers happy, and we are done. Andrew, let's lock it up here. Okay, this is a big one. Now, Laura Morrison, who runs distribution at Sagicor. Okay, she is in charge of all distribution. She is my next guest on the Bill Levinson Experience podcast. I'm really excited about this because we're also good friends for many, many years. She's got a great story growing up in the industry and how she landed at Sagicor and how she landed and wound up in this role on the corporate side of the life insurance industry. So very, very interesting. She's a younger woman, very professional, walks the walk, talks the talk. I'm very proud to say Laura is our next guest speaker on the Bill Levinson Experience. So check it out when you can. We have some past great episodes that I think you'll get lots and lots of sales ideas from. Check it out when you can. I want to hear from you. If we do, I'll send you the free IUL prospecting book on us. Okay, let's lock it up. This is our upcoming, upcoming training event slide. So real quick, these are daily webinars that we basically pick a different technology platform every single day, 2 p.m. Eastern. Now, it's a different format. I think it's important for you to know it's an open format where you can jump in and ask questions, okay? And the goal is we want everyone to be comfortable with our CRM program, the free website, the prospecting tool that we offer. We even have a best practices training on Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you register on the training calendar. It's on our LevinsonAssociates.com website or KerryLevinson.com. On the bottom is the brand new final expense lead program I just went over on the 15th. And then on the way bottom, on the 17th, we're going to go over some annuity sales concepts to close out the year strong, 2 p.m. Eastern, September 17th. Okay, our question of the day and our positive Tuesday quote, my favorite part of the webinar. So real quick, I'm going to end it with this. Today happens to be Tuesday, which is rare. Learning a little more leads to dreaming a bit more, which allows you to be a lot more. So what does that say about our business and about your personal life? It's take the extra step, right? You can never stop learning and growing. The opportunities are on the other side, but you have to put your right foot forward. And that's what today's training was about. Let's ask our question of the day. Okay, so real quick, as you know, we're talking all about Sagicor today. I mentioned two things in the very beginning. Okay, number one, this is a two-part question. You have to answer both questions correctly and first. The first question is, how many minutes does it take Sagicor to make a decision? If there's no red flags, how many minutes does it take for Sagicor to make a decision on your application? Okay, tell me how many minutes, and then you have to tell me the name of the single premium IUL product that offers full liquidity, full return of premium. What's the name of that product? So two-part question. Tell me the name of the product. Tell me how many minutes it takes for an underwriting decision. You win. Andrew, do we have a winner?
Yes, we do. We just have a winner came in here. It looks like it is Juan S., also goes by JC. He is located in Florida.
JC in Florida, congratulations. The answer is 2-minute decision. And the name of the product, the single premium IUL, is the WEALTHCARE. And that also has full return of premium. With that said, have a wonderful week, a great Tuesday, good selling. Thank you again. Stay strong and do more. Take care.